Well, Jason, we're back.
Off vacation.
Yeah, that was an interesting summer there.
You like the new intro music?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, you couldn't hear it because I just threw it all later.
Yeah, I have no clue what it is. I'm going to have to trust you on that.
I don't even have any clue what it is yet because I'm not even done with it.
Oh.
It sounds good.
Nice.
I like it, so hope you like it.
I approve it. Wait, does that mean I have to listen to this after we record it?
I can just listen to the first 5.
That's great. So, well, back from vacation. How was yours?
It was good. Long, short, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, oh man, once.
Well, we both drove an awful lot.
Right. I feel like that's like more work than anything. I cannot be a trucker. I used to think I could be a trucker, but now it's like, F this, I could not be a trucker.
That's the thing. Like, and I did 2 long drives this year. So did you, I guess, actually. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But I feel like that's what.
Technically, I guess 4 long drives if you count there and then count back. I mean.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah. Same thing with me, but I just meant one big drive trip and then one big drive trip. Like, we both were like over 17 hours on both of our trips one way. But I feel like driving is what wears you out. Like, you remember everything, right? And then you get back and you're just tired and you want to sleep the whole time. And then you're like, what do we do?
Right? No, yeah, you're absolutely right. So like the first leg of the journey to Arkansas, I stopped in Texas both times. First to go see like my cousin. We had some stuff. They're getting ready to have a baby.
Yeah, it's due pretty soon, isn't it?
Yeah, like she's 9 months now. So I think like 1st of August, getting ready to pop out.
Any day.
Then
boy,
girl. Yep, little girl.
Oh, a firefighter has a little girl. Watch out, world.
Watch out. But no, Mama from Old Canada, she's still illegal. I don't know if I can say that on the podcast.
Aren't they married?
Well, they're married, but like the paperwork has to get done in a certain way or something. I don't know.
So what you're saying is, not to get into politics, but what you're saying is she can be deported right now?
Yeah. I mean, I know my cousin voted Trump and all, but gosh, it might, maybe backlash on him here coming up soon.
Or maybe it'll help him out.
Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe we shouldn't be advertising.
We'll
a simple Facebook search will say who we're talking about.
See what's going on with that Ferris Bueller report or something. I don't know.
Ferris Bueller report.
Is that what it is? Is that what you're watching?
The Mueller report.
Oh, I thought they were saying Bueller. Bueller. But no, she just got done with this awesome, I'll show it to you a little bit later and share it on the Facebook page, but she just got done with this awesome mural for the kiddo, doing like sunflower daisies and stuff like that.
In the room?
Yeah, in the nursery. She did it herself. I was seeing the video on Snapchat from him of her sitting down all pregnant.
She didn't trace it?
No.
But she stenciled it out, right?
It was all like hands.
Really? So she didn't even like pencil it.
I didn't see like the pencil stuff like that. I think she just.
No, that's freaking impressive.
Like, yeah, she is a Canadian lawyer plus artiste. So there you go.
Apparently,
little Bob Rossi in you, and she's illegal. So if you guys,
there we go. So that was your first. that was your first stretch there, and then you went and got the little guy.
Well, Sam met the fam that first trip.
Yes,
which was exciting for her. Well, not that exciting. It was a hoot, I guess you can say.
Yeah. This is probably going to be controversial, and I'm okay if you cut this out.
Okay.
But yeah, Sam and your family are like, Sam's more like me, but I don't know how to phrase this, but Sam's more like me, but less polished in that stuff. Like, I can meet family, like I can meet people that I don't like would hang out with, kind of, and get along with them fine, and be fine with it. Whereas if you're not polished in that thing, so it went well is what you're saying.
You're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, like I could see, like I would walk into that, like you've seen me around your cousins or whatever. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Whatever, but I could see people, people that aren't polished in that, or aren't familiar with that could like be like, what am I getting myself into?
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, totally.
Hopefully I phrased that right. So
that's
it went
like
well.
How it is also, too, like with me, like on her family.
Well, that's what I mean.
Because they're
opposite.
Like, when they get together, they're Romanian, so they just talk the tongue, and I'm like, you guys are talking about me.
Oh, because it's a different language.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, you just get that instant feel.
Yeah, no, I mean,
talking about you.
That's what I mean. It's like polar opposites. It's like when I have cousins that are married to Mexican families and whatnot. And like, you know, Mexican families get together all the time, like on weekends or whatever. My family doesn't. So like that's like, and it's just totally out of place for me or whatever. So that's kind of like the same thing you guys are dealing with. But it went well. That's good.
Yeah, it went well.
Nobody kicked her out.
Nope. Went and got little guy. Yeah, she didn't have the warrant, but she still was allowed to go in. That's something my dad has on his door.
Oh, did you like that?
We looked and we were like, what the heck? We're both like that. I mean, I'm polar opposite from my family too. So it's not like one of those things where the apple falls far from the tree or whatever. It's
close to the tree,
whatever you want to call it. So, you know, it was something else. They got little guy. Everything went good with him for the 3 weeks. Had a lot of fun. Did a lot of things.
Yeah, you were busy at. I mean, I was gone when you were here, and then you were gone when I was here. So we were just Facebook and Snapchatting and Twittering. So we were interacting, and looked like you guys had a lot of fun.
Yep, had a lot of fun. Did a lot of things. Enjoying the life, I guess.
Don't kids just wear you out?
Oh my gosh, it's like another job there. You know, even just like going places with them. It's not even like so much as a like.
Yeah, you're used to
the whole thing, but like
you're used to just getting up and walking out of the house.
Yeah, like here you gotta make sure you get that diaper bag going. You gotta do that. You know, the snacks, this stuff. Then you forget something because you always forget something, and he'll be the first one to tell you, "Yo, Dad, where's my water cup at?" And you're like, "All right." And then you're like, "Okay, I hope nobody steals the car in the 5 seconds I'm inside because you're going to stay in the car. I'm going to get you back out." And you're just like, "What?"
You left the car running, of course.
Yes, left the car running. I took the key, so I think I can have like the kill switch on. Engaged.
It won't drive off if it's going. Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean, my kids started school today, and I'm the happiest I've been in 3 months.
Freedom! Was that song?
Yeah.
Freedom!
Like there was a snafu, of course, and so I had to take Ethan to school. So I dropped him off and got home and was literally like, "Wow, what do I do with myself now?" Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. So yeah, then you got back, you hung out with him, you took him back, all that fun stuff.
Yep,
went through
all
Texas
that
again.
fun stuff. Went back through Texas, let the fam see him. Went to a Ranger game, the final year of the ballpark. Saw the local D-backs team, of course, because I can't get away from that. I don't know. It's always something. I was telling our buddy Matt. It was me and him. We went to a few Ranger games, and it seemed like every time we went, it was Rangers versus White Sox. For like a few years there in Texas, and then of course he comes to Chicago, and we go to Ranger game. Of course, it's the White Sox versus the Rangers.
Yeah,
so it's like gosh, and then like out here, it's like, hey man, let's go to the spring training game, and Rangers versus White Sox. So
my thing with the D-backs is it seems like every game I go to, they play the Rockies.
The Rockies, yeah, I think
it's like they play the Rockies 62 games out of the year. I'm convinced of it at this point.
I know they have the whole like we have to play our division, but no, I feel you there. I feel like they play the Rockies an abundance amount of time.
It's like every time I go, it's like, who we got today? Rockies. Like what? We just played them. Haven't we played them 30 times already this year? So yeah, it is amazing how. And I get it. It's the weighted schedule. So you usually go to a lot of games at the beginning of the season. You'll go to games at the end of the season a lot. So I get it. You're going to run into those guys or whatnot. And then I also do avoid the Dodger games. So, so that might be part of it too, is, it's like, who they got? Are they playing the Dodgers? No. All right, let's go. And then it happens to be the Rockies.
Trying to get stabbed.
So no, my chips. Did you get pictures of the new ballpark? I was going to ask you.
No, you know what? I parked. So I parked on the opposite side thinking I could walk over.
Like Texas Live and everything?
So I was thinking, all right, cool. I can walk right by the ballpark. They have the observation deck, and I can take a picture.
Oh, that's right.
So I go to park. Well, there's like no tenant there to take my money, which I'm not complaining about. It was a $20 parking spot
until your car gets
which
towed.
I just parked for free, and nobody towed it. So hey, we're good. And I had a perfect argument. I was, hey, this is a lot. It had the $20 up here. Ain't my fault nobody's here.
I left the $20 on the sign.
So apparently that's employee parking for building the new stadium.
Oh, so
we had to like walk around to like another Cowboys lot, then go down to Texas Live.
Yeah.
Like after the game, Sam was like, "You're going to go get the car because I'm not doing that walk again." Like she was. I mean, the humidity. She was hating life, and but no, we did our Christmas card photos down there. Went to Baseballism down in Texas, got some shirts, and I did the Christmas card photos.
So you guys are wearing matching shirts?
Oh, yeah.
Again?
And so we'll get your address and everything. You'll get that sent out. If anybody else wants a Christmas card, by all means, DM us your address. We'll send it out.
Don't waste a stamp, dude. You can just drop it off.
Okay.
Hey, save the whatever a stamp is these days.
Well, I think you get them in booklets now. So if you got one, I don't know. I might just send it your way.
Yeah. Yeah. I have not done my Christmas card
yet.
No.
I got a let's see here. I got a photo of like the backside.
No, because it's got to be the observation deck. The exterior has to be pretty much, and the roof's on. I'm assuming.
If the exterior is pretty much done, then they are in trouble. Just looking at it, I'm like, there's no way in hell this thing's gonna be ready by April. What's that? 8 months?
But they have the roof up and stuff, is what I mean, right?
Well, the glass like panels aren't in there.
It's one of those glass retractable ones,
yeah, it's a glass retractable.
Like for the Colts Stadium in Indianapolis.
Here's the picture I got, and I assume this is the back side of it, or one of the sides of it.
That's the
so you can see like the Texas Live. So if you're looking at the picture, it's over here.
Okay, yeah, because that's where the because that's the front.
Because that's where the statue's at.
So that's
I think that's center field. That's not like home plate. Home plate, like this right here, should be the first base.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I call it the front because that's where most people are going to enter, because that's where the statues are.
That's going to be the main entrance.
Yeah, right? I don't know if it's center field or
I believe that's going to be center field.
That's the main entrance because most people, people will go the other side, but no, that's a good. That's all I want to know is if the roof was up and if they had everything done and everything, because it's rainy season there, so.
Well, it's been raining there all year.
I know, but I figured they'd have the roof. Break. You can't, it's gonna be hard to finish that inside if the roof's not on. It's raining all the time.
Yeah, I'm interested.
So that outside is, that's what I mean. The outside's pretty much. They have work to do still.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do like bricks and everything, kind of make it look like the old ballpark and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's enclosed, and that's what I meant. Yeah, and then the roof's up. So, no, it's pretty exciting on that. So, because last time we were there, it was just they just had. When were we there last year, right? Last August?
Around this time, actually. I think I just got the
and it was
notification that we were in travel.
Yeah, there was a few pillars up, but mainly it was just, the basic, the basic shell down below was all that was on there. So, yeah. Not like when they build those buildings and everything, but... And whatnot, I like the way they build them and seeing the progress, especially when you don't live there. It's even more exciting. So, get in there. But did you see... Since we're on baseball. Well, actually, really quick. Yeah, my trip was pretty fun. I did one to Yellowstone. Did all that stuff, which I'm still trying to figure out how to get the pictures out. But then I just did the whole Yosemite, Redwoods. Did you see some of my pictures from the Redwoods?
Yeah.
That does not do it justice.
I like the video. The video was good that you were doing.
Oh, I haven't posted that yet.
Oh, was that on the Redwoods?
Oh, no. That was a video with my phone, but I had the GoPro on the front of the car.
I just saw the one with the phone that you just threw up on there.
Like, it doesn't, the thing I wanted to say about that is, like, it doesn't do it justice on camera, man. You go stand next to one of those things. Like, I have a picture of me standing on top of one, like, that fell over. And I look like a little kid on it. Hey, it's like amazing how huge these trees are. But then at Yosemite, you see these guys climbing El Capitan like a week before we got there. A 5-year-old, I think, or a 5th grader or something, scaled it with ropes with her dad. It took her 5 days to get up to the top on it. And you see the pictures on it, and you're like, all right, it's tall. It's straight up. It's tall. Like, that's a feat. Then you see it in person, and you're like, what? What is wrong with people?
Right?
Like, this isn't a small thing, So, but yeah, we got exciting pictures. Kids got to go climb and get right next to huge waterfalls and everything. And I have so much video and pictures because my kids are turning into video. It's just, bless their hearts. They're doing the best they can, but they're not the best. A lot of editing will be involved.
Yeah, just make sure to turn the phone sideways when they do it.
All the GoPros and all that stuff. Oh, no, they're good at that. We were someplace the other day, and both the kids brought out, I can't remember where it was, both the kids brought out their phones and like instantly went.
Good.
Landscape. Was that landscape?
Because they listened to me.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I started laughing on that because it comes natural. So, but yeah, we're back now. And the big news of the day so far is Addison Russell has been optioned to AAA.
Ooh, option to AAA. Gave him the old backhand down to Iowa.
So I've been watching the last couple of days. People have been putting montages together of his lack of effort in game. Like it wasn't like over a bunch of games. It was like one game. So somebody is going to games and recording just Addison Russell, so they can put a montage together. But yeah, so that just came down 22 minutes ago.
Yeah, I didn't even see it.
So Wilson Contreras has been activated instead. So does that mean the question is, does that mean we can now start doing the OK sign again because the Cubs don't have to deflect from Addison Russell anymore?
Right, maybe. I mean, you already saw Kyle Schwarber throwing a little bit OK. Steph Curry, his new Under Armour collection has
that's his signal. That's his sign.
Signal, yeah, the OK.
Whatever it is, logo.
The 3 OK, most people really far left in the woke crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not following baseball a ton right now because I have been gone and then getting caught up and then kids starting school today. But I was actually surprised by that they did take him down. I thought they'd stick with him a lot longer because he was called up way too early.
Well, I heard there's been a lot of talk. A lot of people that I follow in Chicago,
team though, right?
They've been waiting for this to happen.
Oh, okay.
Just media guys like, like you got to drop him. I mean, even fans too. Like they see it, they're like, there's no way.
That's what I'm saying.
This guy should be taking up a roster spot. Get him out of here.
I've seen the fan, like I said, I've seen 3 or 4 people do montages of his lack of effort and his mistakes during games. So the fan side doesn't surprise me, but I hadn't been seeing a lot of media and things. But like I said, I follow people, but I haven't gotten into it. So.
Yeah, I guess they're like terrible in games that he started to this year. Like they are not good.
I saw one montage where he had like, I don't know if they gave him errors, but I mean, it could have been 4 errors on literally four plays in a row. I mean, it was just amazing. That was the other day. And it was just lack of hustle is all it was, you know. At first, I thought they slowed the video down to like make him look bad, but no, it was real time. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's, you know, we're coming down to, and I don't even know what, a Cubs still leading that? A Cubs still in that division?
They got about 2.5 games yesterday when I saw it, so they're up by 2.5 games. The whole division's like 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, the whole division.
It's going to be fun coming down the stretch with the NL Central.
Because St. Louis is off and on. Goldschmidt's having a horrible year. He didn't come out of his beginning year slump like he did with the D-backs.
Cranked a dinger the other day, though.
Did he?
Yep. Dinger derby, baby.
You know, clock is right twice a day. Isn't that what they say? So baseball, we're coming down to the final parts here. I mean, here's the interesting thing about baseball, and I was trying to find the stat. So trading deadline comes up, right? 31st, so next week. I think it's the 31st.
Yep, week out.
All these teams, there are so many teams that are within a wild card hunt that we weren't expecting to. Diamondbacks, Giants a week ago were announcing they were selling. They are now in the wild card hunt. They're like a game and a half out as of the other day when I heard this. And so now they're like, we might not be selling. You know, all the media, they're like, we're taking back all of our we're selling stances. You know, now we might not be selling.
We love these players. Yes, we should keep this guy.
You know, Milwaukee is not having the best of years, so they could be selling. But now they're in the hunt again. Now that they just beat the Diamondbacks 3 out of 4. You know, there's talk here about getting rid of Robbie Ray for the Diamondbacks and the star pitcher that's having a heck of a Greinke. They're talking about unloading players, but it's going to be interesting. This trade line is going to be one of the most interesting trade deadlines because of all these teams that have snuck into now this wild card. Teams are going backwards, teams are going forward, and there's so many teams in the hunt for this right now that you sell too early, you're going to piss off your fan. How do you sell one and tell your players you want to win when you're in the hunt? You know, if you're a game or 2 out of the wild card and then you sell, how do your players, but more importantly, how do you sell it to a fan base? So how many of these teams that are in it now are going to sell and then just piss off everybody? And then how many are going to stay in it and then be 12 games out a week later?
So with me, I kind of knew I was getting into this year being a Rangers fan. I knew we weren't supposed to win, but the expectations weren't very high. But they overexceeded in the first half of the season. You know, there were 4 games out of first place in the West 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
That has drastically changed now.
Yes.
To where they are 14 games out of first place in the West. But still, I mean, 6.5 out of the wild card. They do have some starters that are controllable through not just this year, but next year, which I think, you know, everybody's like, oh, you got to get rid of Mike Minor. But he's an arm that you have for this year and next year. Lance Lynn, after this year, you have 2 more years. I think this year for the Rangers personally be one of those like stand pat kind of years, but you know, I mean, if you get like a good haul for whoever, then yeah, take it, because a guy with, you know, a year under control, something you're going to want. But I feel like all the bigger, higher teams are going to want that guy that they can offload. You know, like Houston, they're going to want a guy who they can get rid of at the end of the year.
Yeah,
get us in there, contract. Help us win a World Series. Let's go. Same with the Yankees. Same with the Twins. Same with Oakland, the A's. All these teams, you know, fighting for that spot and, you know, and just win the World Series. And I think you see the same thing in the NL as well. The problem with the NL, though, is there are way too many guys who are still there. I do believe the Giants and D-backs should sell because I don't think the wild card's coming out of the West. I know they're
possible.
I know the Giants are 2 games back and the D-backs are 3 games back. I just don't see the wild card coming out of the West.
I know, but that's my.
And even if you do come out of the West, all right, you win the 1 game. Congratulations, you're about to lose 3 to the Dodgers.
Well, everybody's losing to the Dodgers, though. That's the argument,
Exactly.
right?
Like, I mean,
but San Francisco has Baumgartner, who they were prepared to sell a week ago. Like, they were like, we're taking any and all offers. We're going to rehash whatever. They're now 2 games ago, above 500, and I want to say, I'm trying to find it here. They're not that far out of the wild card.
Not 2 games out.
So how do you, especially a town like Arizona, I get it. Sell Robbie Ray, sell Greinke, piss off your fan base. You win that. You get back competitive next year. You'll be back in it. You'll piss people off this year, but they always come back. Giants are used to winning. So how do you sell Baumgartner, other good players that would be good for another team, and then justify that when they've just been on a tear lately?
You just point to those 3 titles that you won this last decade. Like, look, guys, we know what we're doing. All right.
But I mean, Milwaukee, they're struggling and whatnot, but I mean, they're in 3rd place in their division, but they're right in line. I mean, they're not that far out. They're by standing wise a game out. I mean, in terms of wins, they're a game out, but they have 3 more losses.
I still like Milwaukee winning the Central. I still don't have them out of the Central. I still like Milwaukee.
But there's talk of Milwaukee selling because they don't, can't compete on there. You got Atlanta running away, so the Nationals going to sell, Philadelphia are going to sell. God, the Mets need to sell, right? But they're, the Mets are 46 wins this year. They're 53 is Philadelphia, and Atlanta has 60. They're still within a reasonable striking, period of that. So yeah, no, it's just going to be interesting to see which team's throwing the towel and what the reaction is. I mean, fans are one thing, and I'm always a fan of you don't piss off your fan base. I'm fine with that because if you think you're making the right move.
You also have to let your fan base know, like, look, guys, we could just stand pat. I mean, this is the thing I hate. So I joined another Rangers fan group, and they do not understand how baseball works and the whole rebuilding process and whatnot. So, there are people on there like, why would you get rid of your best players? That's like, you should get rid of this guy. It's like, look, nobody's going to take that guy
contract
off of us because we paid him too much money because we screwed up. Nobody's gonna be like, hey, you know what, you guys screwed up, we'll go ahead and take that contract off of that guy that you screwed up on. They're not gonna do that.
And
you gotta get rid of the guys who are doing good, who can bring in something more. Like, that's how rebuilding, retooling, whatever you want to call it. People don't want to say rebuild anymore for some weird reason.
Well, you get the prospects, yeah,
but everyone's like retooling, like the D-backs this year. We're retooling, guys. We are not rebuilding.
And then
now it's like halfway there. It's like, if we get Robbie Ray and Zach Greinke, yeah, that's a rebuild.
But in the same boat, like, I'm okay with the Diamondbacks selling because you get rid of Greinke, you're going to get good prospects back, and you're going to get good guys back.
Depending on what they do with the contract.
Well, here's the issue.
The D-backs have to take some of that money.
Well, that's what
the other team says, hey, we'll take the money. Here's what you're getting. You're not getting any,
this is my
prospects.
That's what I was getting to was the thing I hate the most about this is they'll unload Greinke, right, for salary savings and get prospects. And then they're still going to pay 3/4 of his contract.
Right.
It drives me freaking nuts. And why not just keep the guy?
And that's the thing. Yeah, and that's why you're not going to get the great prospects with that.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what drives me nuts about those moves. I mean, Robbie Ray, you're going to get some great his contract's a little bit, obviously a lot more affordable. It's not $35 million a year, and you won't be paying the Robbie Ray salary on that. But at the same time, the prospects thing with baseball drives me nuts because 90% of those prospects never pan.
Yeah, you don't know if they're going to be good or not.
And then it's like, we might as well, why not just stick in there? So what? You missed the playoffs. But you went for it, right? You didn't make that 1-game wild card and see what happens, So just go for it at that point. And that's what drives. That's the conundrum, I guess. So I would say if you're hovering around 500, you're not going to catch the Dodgers, but you're within striking distance of that wild card.
So you're buying?
No, I'm not even saying buying. Stay pat.
Stand pat.
See what happens. If you're going to unload a guy and pay his contract for another team to have him, keep the guy. Which is going to happen with Greinke. Robbie Ray, I don't know. But even then, unload Robbie Ray. You're in the hunt. Diamondback, but right now it's easy to say sell because they just lost 3 out of 4 to Milwaukee.
Did they win last night against the Orioles? I didn't see.
Yes, they did because
I would hope they beat the Orioles.
What's his name? Who was at the Orioles? The guy I like. See, he's on the block too. Adam Jones. Yeah, he lit it up last night back in Baltimore. There was in Baltimore, or was it here?
It was here.
Yeah, this was his first time playing. So baseball next week is going to be pretty exciting, I think, in terms of a.
And the thing I like about this year is the first year where this is it. Like the final deadline is the 31st. We don't have that.
That starts
BS.
this year?
Yeah, we don't have that BS deadline, where Verlander last year.
They can't waiver.
Went on August 31st. There's no more waiver wire deadline. Apparently.
So if they designate a veteran for assignment, he can.
Then, you just have to wait, let him get released. Like, boom.
Yeah, and then sign him. But then is he eligible for the playoffs?
I would think yes.
Yeah, but you're not going to designate a good player before you put a guy on waivers and see if you get good players for him. Yeah, you're right. So you're not going to designate. Giants are going to designate Bumgarner to, and let him go.
All I'm saying is, as a Rangers fan, I saw a very interesting name pull up who can eat some innings for you. That was Matt Harvey. I am all about going to get Matt Harvey.
Did you see
for the Rangers and have somebody eat innings? Even if the D-backs do decide to sell, get Matt Harvey.
Remember how excited I was that Harvey signed with the Angels? Like, we went to a spring training game, and I went, Matt Harvey's starting. I want to go to this game.
And remember how the Rangers lit him up that game?
Yes. And have you seen his stats this year? There's a reason he has been DFA.
Yeah, they are not that great.
I wouldn't call him an innings eater unless you're down by 12, and he's going to make you go down by 15 or 20.
Hey, you know what? If you're gonna hang the L, man, just hang the L. All right, like just roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Harvey.
If you're down by 6 runs and he's only thrown 10 pitches in the first inning, but he already has 2 outs, just let him stick it out.
Right.
Change of scenery, guy, man. He don't like the West Coast.
Yeah, well, he's had a lot of changes. So a guy that was a huge all-star, just 4 or 5 years ago with the Mets.
Yeah, I think like 2014. He was.
And then he had the Tommy John. Yeah, he had Tommy John surgery. Had the coolest nickname ever. Was dominating the league. Had the Tommy John and just never came back.
Yeah, his fastball. So. He lost his fastball there, Steven. Lost his fastball.
Well, that was the thing in spring training was like, man, what's he throwing? Whatever. It's like, oh, he's 88. Oh, that was his curveball or whatever. So
no, that was his fastball.
That was his fastball. That was his fastball. Oops. So baseball is going to be exciting coming up. So college football real quick, because there's not a lot going on other than, the BS week 0 games coming up, whatever the hell that is, right?
Love me some week 0 games.
There's only one good game that weekend. So did you see Pat Fitzgerald, Northwestern's head coach, who I used to like?
I saw him in the headlines. I did
ranting
I skimmed over
and raving about why cell phones are the reason why people don't go to games anymore and everything.
Yeah, he was
No, Pat Fitzgerald. People don't go to college football games because of the opening weekend games. They're all garbage games except for one, and that's the Florida-Miami one on week 0. Otherwise, you got all these people playing, like Alabama's playing like Western, Demon U or whatever.
Oh, love me some Western D.
That is the reason why people aren't going. Like him and Saban, like Pat Fitzgerald went, I just hate it's ticket prices, right? Like, you used to be able to go and, support your team for, a family of 4 or 5 for maybe $100, Now every ticket's $70 to get in.
Oh,
even at Northwestern, they're not even that good. Right.
Chicago's big team.
And all that stuff. So, so watch that. If you haven't seen it, watch that video of Pat Fitzgerald just totally rail on the, he's talking about going to dinner and watching 2 people on opposite ends of the table that he thinks on a date and they're not talking. They're on their phones. Well, you don't know their circumstances, jackass. Maybe they just had a long ass discussion and they're doing, they're trying to figure out what they're doing, hey, let's go do this later or whatever. Like, there's a lot of reasons for people to be on cell phones, you old fart. Second of all, I have to go on my rant here. Football coaches, you make millions of dollars, and your excuse is that you can't generate interest because you can't win at your freaking program is cell phones? Seriously, Pat Fitzgerald? Maybe if you actually won something and actually did something there at Northwestern, people would show up to your stadium. It's not because they're in their dorm rooms on their cell phones, Pat Fitzgerald. God, I swear to God, it drives me freaking nuts. Hey, Nick Saban, stop blaming your student body because they don't want to watch you demolish Arkansas State Central University by 72 points on a freaking Saturday. Ugh.
Yeah, they're playing Duke there week 1.
Duke's not good.
Well. So
are you gonna Are you gonna sit down and watch a Duke Alabama game on that first weekend?
Well, I probably will sit down on week 0. We have the first 2 games of the year, Miami versus Florida, which pretty exciting game, I guess you could say. Week 0, there's no other games except for late that night, the U of A Wildcats going to Hawaii. $17 a ticket there on StubHub, in case you're wondering.
In Hawaii.
No idea how they were able to pay U of A to go out to Hawaii. Like, are times that bad for U of A where they're doing 1-1s with Hawaii now?
I was reading stories yesterday. Tomlin's been there 1 year.
Yeah.
Sumlin. He's been there 1 year. I've been reading U of A actually saying he's on the hot seat this year if he doesn't come through and get to a bowl game. After one, who does U of A think they are? Who does the Arizona Wildcat football team think they are? That they have a coach in Mike Sumlin, and after 1 year of having to rebuild, Kevin Sumlin, honestly, I don't even know his name. That's how weak it is. Like, I wanted ASU to hire this guy, and now he goes to Arizona, and you forget all about him, and now all these Arizona fans are saying he's on the hot seat. Oh my God, U of A fans, settle down.
Times are tough going to Hawaii to play home and home.
Well, I mean, that's been on the
if it's a home and home, I don't even know if it's a home and home.
I don't even know either. But I mean, Hawaii's not. Oh, God forbid they lose that game. Oh Lordy, someone will be fired on the plane trip home right after 1 year.
Won't even make it. He'll just be given a surfboard on the way home.
He needs to get his players in there. People, everybody, settle down. Oh, God, U of A fans.
No, I'm not going to sell you on a Duke-Bama game. Sorry. But Northwestern is playing Stanford that first week. That could be pretty interesting.
No, it's not. Stanford Cardinal from Palo Alto.
The Stanford that's in the Pac-12.
Or the Stanford.
The one with the tree mascot.
The Cardinal? Yes, the Cardinal.
No, it's a tree.
Yes.
It's a tree. It's a Christmas tree logo.
I mean, Northwestern's been good. They've been decent the last couple of years, but I mean, let's be real.
That could be a solid game though between those two teams.
Yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm probably gonna watch that one.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's gonna be Fox. It's gonna be a good game.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm probably gonna tune into that one.
It's gonna be good.
Pac-12 guy. So, but yeah, I mean, it just drives me nuts how these people blame, especially old people. As a 42-year-old man, I don't know how old Pat Fitzgerald is, but he's a younger guy. I mean, let's be real. Sitting in a press conference blasting what the people you're trying to recruit only know, their phones, probably isn't the smartest recruiting tool, right?
Well, speaking of recruiting tools in football, is getting a new contract. Do you see what Jalen Ramsey did?
Yeah, I have that on my list to talk about.
So Jalen Ramsey with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who haven't seen it, go ahead and look it up. I think we're going to tweet it out.
Yeah,
I'm going to Twitter at the Main Event Pod. Showed up to training camp today in a armor truck with a hype man.
That's the only way, with a megaphone.
With a megaphone, his hype man comes out with a megaphone. Jalen Ramsey comes out.
This is a real Brinks truck, everybody.
Money bags are inside as Ramsey came out of the back of the truck, pretty much making it crystal clear that he wants a brand new contract. Not holding out though, so that's good.
Here's my problem with it is when he slams open the doors, they go right back into him, and he's got to like push him open.
It was a little windy. All right, you can't. It was raining, windy.
He envisioned that going a lot better.
Yeah, totally.
But that's what I love most about it is the doors slam right back into his face as he's trying to get out.
I saw a video of Leonard Fournette just like showing up in like a hoodie, just kind of walking in.
Yeah.
And right behind us where the Brinks truck comes in, and it's just like he's signing into camp. Like you have to like go sign the paper. Like, hey, I'm here. Yeah. All right, showed up.
You got to fill out all your paperwork and all that stuff. But no, I mean that is one of the most ingenious entrances ever, right there. I think I love that. My favorite ones for training camp are the ones that show up with like a Costco supply of toilet paper.
Yeah.
The linemen. And they're so proud of it. They got it over their shoulder. And people are like, man, what do you bring to training camp? He's like, I got my TP. I got my paper. And it's like, they're so proud of it. It's so great. Hey, really quick, going back to football before you change it, because I wanted to say this.
Well, no, I was just going to say, like, this is how you do This is how you should be. Like, you shouldn't hold out. Like Melvin Gordon holding out. That doesn't.
Well, that's why.
Is he going to hold out? No, this is brilliant right here. Jalen Ramsey, I'm coming in. I got my truck, got my hype man. This is how you should do it, players.
Because I was going to bring up the holdout thing. So just really fast on the Pac-12, but they have officially announced that the 2020 and 2021 championship game is moving from Levi Stadium in Palo Alto, California, to the new Raiders Stadium.
In Vegas.
Yes. So.
And what year?
I think it's 20.
Next year and the year after?
Of course, now it's not coming up. But yeah, I believe it's 2021 definitely, but I thought it said 2020 and 2020. Yeah, because that stadium's supposed to open
that's over next year.
Yeah, so
road trip.
That'll breathe life back into the Pac-12 game that nobody goes to in Levi Stadium.
Road trip.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you're right on Ramsey. He's showing up. He's going. Melvin Gordon, they're playing their things. But here's my thing is, Melvin Gordon, I think he's a better than average running back, but let's be honest, if he goes down, he's replaceable and they're not going to miss him. Let's be honest. That's Phillip Rivers' offense, right?
Yeah, I mean, he went down the first year we saw. The second year he came back, had a decent year. Last year, touchdown wise wasn't his best year, but he had some pretty good yards, but he still got hurt.
But I mean,
they motored on.
Yeah, I mean that's Phillip Rivers' offense. It doesn't matter who they have in the backfield, I don't think. But here's my question for you, and you're not going to like my setup to this, so I apologize up front.
All right, there's setup.
So you get drafted, you have problems in college, legal problems in college. Every year you're in the pro, which is what, year 3. Every year in the pros, you have some legal thing, or you get in trouble because you're on video doing something you're not supposed to be doing, something like that. You get suspended for multiple games in a year. You come back fat after that suspension.
No, I think I know where you're going with this.
You come into training camp fat because you don't want to work out in the off season. You have a quarterback that's due to get money, right? You have other players on your team that I would argue are more important than you, ready to get paid, and they need to settle those contracts. And you have the balls to tell your team that you're going to hold out and you want more money. How, if that was anybody but a Cowboys player, how would you feel about that? 'Cause I'm talking about Zeke Elliott.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I still feel the same way. Like I'm totally full-hearted agree. Like, don't pay a running back regardless.
But I'm not even touching on that.
But on the other stuff, all right. So he had issues at Ohio State. His first year was pretty decent, except he whipped out a girl's tit at a Mardi Gras party. But it is Mardi Gras, for God's sake.
I know, but inappropriate.
Year,
my point is inappropriate.
Well, it was a Mardi Gras float.
It doesn't matter, Jason. Still inappropriate.
Oh, he showed guys titty. Whatever. Don't be gay. So then.
Inappropriate, Jason.
And then, the next year he kept it pretty clean. He did get the suspension, but that was stemmed from like the stuff that happened way in the past. So in the next year he kept it pretty clean. Last year was pretty solid, except for end of the year with the whole Vegas thing, where it looked like to me he just sneezed. I don't know, but knocked the guy over. Whatever.
I know. Regardless if he
guy fell over, wants an apology.
Regardless if he whipped his hair around and the wind from his luscious hair knocked the guy over or not.
Which Zeke does have some great hair, by the way.
He is still in the news for doing something wrong. Is Dak in the news doing something wrong?
No. Dak doesn't have the money to go do something wrong.
Who's the receiver that they got from the Raiders last year that has to get a new contract?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. Is he doing stuff wrong?
Amari Cooper's a straight shooter. He likes to just keep it
but my point is you're always in the news, whether it's justified or not. I know you like to justify it.
I do justify some things.
But he's in the news constantly for things that not relating to football. He's been suspended, hasn't played a full season, routinely comes into training camp fat, came back from his suspension fat when he was quote unquote working out in Mexico. And then all the videos came out that it was just a giant orgy fest that he had in Mexico with all of his celebrity friends.
He got a hold of Gronk's people.
And that's fine. I mean, if you want to do that stuff, fine. But you don't walk in and announce that you deserve all this money over guys like Amari Cooper, like Dak, and players like that and everything. At what point do you have some self-awareness?
My big problem with this isn't like so much of like the holdout stuff. It's you got 2 years left in your contract.
I know.
And you're going to do the holdout. Like,
well, but that's why
at least get through this year before you decide like, hey, I want to hold out. But
I was
listening.
I left
earlier,
that off for a reason,
and they're still not even sure what he's going to do.
I know.
I guess
he's posturing.
Yeah, I mean he's hanging outside this tomorrow. We'll find out. What happens. But
Jerry Jones is on the phone going, "Look, man, you can't keep your head out of freaking trouble. We're not paying you. And like, come in here, get your head on straight, have a great year, and we'll talk at the end of the year. Because they got to pay Dak this year.
Yeah, you got to pay Dak.
Cooper.
Dak's your quarterback. You got to pay Dak. You got to pay Cooper. And then you look at Zeke. I mean, I think, being a running back behind he's the expendable one because he is a running back. And when he, is, 2 years? He'll be up for his contract, that's
why I left the 2-year contract off my little speech there, and the fact he's a running back, because that's easy to explain why you don't pay those guys, But that's why I left that off. I just feel like, can you disrupt the locker room anymore going into training camp? Is more of my point here, Like, players don't get mad at players for trying to go after their money or whatever. But when you're Dak and it's your time to be paid, when you're Amari Cooper and it's your time to be paid, and you've done everything properly, you've done everything right, you've worked your ass off,
right.
Your leader's on the team, and then some a-hole comes in that's like, hey, I'm better than everybody, I need my payment. Like, it's got to do detriment to the locker room at some point. Right?
Oh, yeah, totally agree with that.
That's all my point was. And I'm sorry it had to be a Cowboys guy I had to point out in your justification.
It is what it is.
Because it's not anywhere else.
it is what it is.
I mean, Melvin Gordon thing is going to hold out. I honestly feel like that's just a wear and tear on the body thing,
Yeah.
Like, let's see what happens.
He gets hurt a lot.
The Chargers aren't the organization that you threaten.
Right.
Ask Eli Manning.
we found that out with it was a guy a few years ago.
Yeah, there's a long line of dead carcasses in the San Diego program.
Yeah, Chargers don't care.
where you threaten the Chargers and they're like, see you later. So it's just that time of year.
And he'll be 26 when he is a free agent in 2021.
So he'll get a good
So yeah, he'll probably have 4 more years left on him.
Somebody will sign him.
4 solid years, probably 2 really good years after that.
Somebody will sign him for good money if it's not the Cowboys after that. He's just trying to get ahead of it because he
saw the Le'Veon Bell thing play out last year.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
He saw Todd Gurley get hurt. He probably knows that he has an ache in his body, so he wants guaranteed money, in case something does happen. Yeah.
Well, and I certainly understand that. It's just having an awareness for the locker room is what, Le'Veon Bell is going to be forever. He's even starting his crap in New York right now, right? The tight end's out, and Le'Veon Bell's running his mouth in New York about how he's not going to do certain things and everything already. And, they just started camp. It's going to come to the point where
you don't get a job promotion at your job by taking a dump every hour and spending 15 minutes on your phone in the toilet playing Angry Birds.
Is that what my problem was?
Yeah, that was your problem, Steve.
Dang it. It's especially the running back position. It's like there's a way to handle it. And Melvin Gordon's way of handling it, like I said, I'm actually okay with. I'm okay with him because he keeps his head on straight. He does what he's asked of. And like I said, I'm actually on the side of he's probably like, I don't want to be there in the preseason anyway, to minimize my hits. The Todd Gurley situation, my problem with Todd Gurley is when Jeff Fisher was there, he never got any preseason stuff, and he always got hurt, right? So last year he gets all that stuff, and he still gets hurt.
And you saw how expendable he was because C.J. Anderson took over during the playoffs.
If there's any case for don't pay a running back, that's it right there, right? And even Pittsburgh, they who's the guy behind Le'Veon Bell that had a good year last year.
Now you threw me in the spot, but
James something.
Yeah.
That even shows that you don't need a guy like Le'Veon Bell in there causing all these locker room problems and things like that, So it's that time of year where football's reporting. Everybody's getting excited. The first game is this weekend?
Is that not this weekend? Hall of Fame would be next weekend, I believe. Correct?
Last weekend.
Not going to go 3 days at it.
Last weekend, I saw a post that said it was the last weekend without football.
August 1st. So, next Thursday.
Oh, next.
So
okay, so they meant week. Okay, so that's what they meant. Right. It was week. Okay. Yeah.
Denver and Atlanta. You watching that one? Hall of Fame game?
Okay.
Do you get excited about the Hall of Fame game?
I don't get excited about any preseason football. But I will have that game on because, one, it's a Thursday night. I don't have the kids. Nothing else going on.
What else are you going to do with life?
Second of all, it's the first game, right? It's like, so you're going to have it on. Like, nobody worthwhile is going to play. It's not going to matter. But it'll be on in the background, and I'll be doing other stuff.
I'm actually interested in this game for the Denver quarterback situation.
Well,
I think that's a pretty good storyline going into that first game. Like, they're going to have, their quarterbacks that are going to play.
There are Denver media people saying that, it's, oh my gosh, my brain is like dead today. Who's the guy they got from Baltimore?
The Flacco.
Okay, there are people saying that Flacco's getting the starting job. No ifs, ands, or buts. But if by week 4 he's not performing and they're not winning, they're switching. Like, people are already coming out and saying that.
Yeah, you got Drew Lock there. I mean,
yeah, and they're not. These media people aren't making that up.
I'm excited to see some Drew Lock.
They're being told that. So you're going to see him a lot in that Hall of Fame game. You're not going to see Flacco at all. You're probably going to see him pull first half, probably, right?
Flacco. I mean, I feel like usually Hall of Fame game they play like the one series. They try to go in there, score,
but he's just going to hand it off. But he's just going to hand it off.
Yeah, he'll hand it off. He might hit somebody over the middle for a little dink dump.
The interesting thing for Denver this year is off the field because Pat Bolin's no longer around, the owner. So his family's right, which his family's been running it for a while, but they did Dad's wishes, obviously. Man, how do you fire Elway for underperforming? How do you fire John Elway in Denver for underperforming? And let's be honest, his whole underperforming thing is just because he got Peyton Manning, set the standard so high with that Super Bowl win, and then he hasn't found one since. And, so I do not want to be the family members that fired John Elway in Denver.
I mean, it's only been a few years. I mean, and, it's not like you had small shoes to fill. I mean, you're trying to fill Peyton Manning's shoes.
I'm not disagreeing. I mean, quarterbacks, most of the teams in the NFL are trying to find a quarterback.
I mean, even teams that have one quarterback. I mean, outside of Tom Brady, I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers, he was one and done.
Yeah.
Russell got there, but he didn't win again.
Yeah.
Who else? Matt Ryan, he got there, didn't win. Like, who?
Yeah, no,
the NFC. Like, I mean, the NFC is just kind of a revolving door. But the AFC, you're trying to beat Tom Brady, and you don't beat Tom Brady.
Well, that was my whole Cardinals thing. Is quarterback's the hardest position to find a serviceable one, let alone a great one,
who's going to get you two rounds in the playoffs.
And sorry, Denver fans, I've spent a lot of time in Denver watching Denver games in that stadium, and somebody misthrows a ball, and the first thing you hear out of the guy 2 rows behind you, John Elway wouldn't have missed that throw. I swear to God.
They're like that?
It is John Elway and nobody else. It's like everybody's compared to John Elway. And, and so when you're compared to yourself, and things like that. So that'll be interesting to see there on that side of it. New England will be interesting this year just because of the Brady fact. Let's be honest. There's no other reason to pay attention to the Patriots other than is Tom Brady going to keep when he's not jumping off a cliff and upsetting people that he dragged his daughter off a cliff. Did you see that?
Gosh, he cannot win with his kids, man. I swear. Everybody wants to father for Tom Brady.
Well, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but if you go back and watch the video, the kid has no desire to jump, and he just goes and drags her off.
Hey,
her face is just horrendous.
You got to get their fear down. It's what you do. I agree.
Well,
I like it.
His problem
I took Nolan swimming. He didn't want to go into the water. I was like, here, you're going under. So I was like dunking him. Yeah.
Brady's problem is he's posting stuff like that from Costa Rica. It's almost like he's rubbing in his life to everybody.
Yeah, that he's
so the people that are people that are not as fortunate as him, which is everybody, it seems like, in the world, just like, Tom Brady's just rubbing it in again, But Green Bay got rid of a lot of defensive players last year. Didn't sign anybody.
Getting rid of another defensive player
today. Their top defensive lineman, they just straight out release him. So of the 11 starters last year, 6 remain on defense. And their defense was not good last year.
Yeah, I don't know why all these people, like I've seen a few people like, Packers are going to take over the North again. Yeah, I don't see it. Mike Daniels, gone. Going to be, looks like the Patriots are already the team that have interest because, they take everybody else's trash and they turn into Super Bowl champs.
If you're an NFL team and you do not have interest in this guy, like...
Yeah, he's only 30, defensive tackle. Like, you
Pro Bowler,
yeah.
Has been dumb. Like, I want to find out why Green Bay cut him. Like, is there something wrong with the guy that we don't know about? Like, what's the deal here? Because there's no reason he's not starting on a team this year, right?
Well, let me see here. Let me go back through. So he made the Pro Bowl in 2017. So it's been a few years. 7-year pro, started 72 games, 29 sacks in his career. Did they go young on defense this year in the draft? Did they get any defensive guys?
I don't remember the draft.
That could be something, I think, where it's like one of those like, hey, look, you really don't have a spot on this team. We're going to cut you before camp because we respect you.
Give you your guy.
Give you your chance. The Cowboys did it with Alan Hearns. They released him yesterday.
But if
so
you
have
go,
to wait, so
but they have replacement for him already.
Right. But I think
that's
maybe
my
the
point.
Packers have something here.
If you're young
like,
on defense, you want a guy like this on your team to show the defense how to go, right?
Well, listen, he wants to start, right? I mean, let's see here. Final year of a 4-year, $41 million contract, so you're not going to have a guy sit for that much money, right?
Here's the question. Packers thrown in the towel because they just signed Aaron Rodgers to a big deal, and they know they're not going to be able to compete with the Vikings and the Bears this year. So are they thrown in the towel this year to get ready for next year?
Well, it looks like they explored the possibility of trading him, but could not get a deal together.
Yeah, you're not going to.
So
trade for a guy with one year contract if you're going to, because everybody know. Why would you trade with them when you know they're going to cut him? Why would you give him draft picks?
He just played 10 games last year, so he did have a foot injury, but I don't know. It's a weird situation. I don't know. It sounds to me like, they're going to save some cap space, but that's probably the other thing.
That's
cap
the thing, because I don't know how good the Bears are going to be this year. I mean, they're expected to do good, but Trubisky still has nobody to throw to. The age-old Bears problem of they have a quarterback and nobody else, or they have a running back and nobody else, or one receiver and nobody else. But that defense is going to be stacked. Vikings are going to be the Vikings, right? Who else is in that division? Who am I forgetting?
What'd you get? Vikings, Packers, Bears, and there's another team in there.
Well, sorry.
Lions.
Oh, Lions. Yeah.
Start off week 1 here in beautiful Arizona.
Are they in Arizona or is that
That's in Arizona, baby.
Is it?
Weird.
Oh, God.
Cardinals are going 1-0 to start the year. Playoff ban. A whole week on the radio. I love it.
Overreaction Monday is going to be fantastic after that.
Kyler Murray wins first start. Could the Cardinals go undefeated this year? Yeah.
Dude, everything. I mean, them releasing Mike Daniels happened right before we started recording. So, but I mean.
I heard about it today that they were going to release. Like it was a plan thing.
Yeah, but everything I am reading is everybody's just ripping the Packers for this move. Like, not one person is saying anything nice about it.
I mean, I'll give them the benefit. I think, they're doing good on the player by saying, hey, man, thanks for your service. Go out there, get your, get signed. We're not going to keep you in limbo where you're like having to fight for a job and have to sit on your ass for a few weeks. So I can appreciate that from the Packers. I don't know why they got rid of him, but obviously they felt like they had to move on.
Good for them. I'm not saying either way on that, other than are the Packers throwing this season. They signed Aaron. He has to shut up now. He can't. He got the coach he wanted, who everybody's like, why'd you hire that guy? He got the coach he wanted. And now the Packers are like, all right, he's going to start shedding everything. Let's go, on there. And why is Lane Kiffin trending on Twitter right now?
I do not know, but please, God, tell me why.
It's probably Media Day. What conference is that he's in?
For the WAC? Is that what he's in?
Southern Florida, right? That's not the WAC. That'd be like
No, he's like Central Florida.
Yeah.
Right? No.
UCF is
Conference
Florida.
USA is what he's in.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Either way, I'll take the whack. Lane Kiffin engaged in some friendly banter at the Conference USA Media Day when asked about the Week 1 game against Ohio State. Oh, this was like 3 days ago. So he thought Week 2 opponent UCF was better than OSU and referenced OSU's blowout loss to Purdue last year. He said, what's funny is I have UCF ranked higher than Ohio State in my ballot for the coaches poll. Hey, if Purdue can beat them by 30, we can beat them by at least 20, right? Ooh.
And they're going to lose by 400. Actually, I don't know. Ohio State's a big question mark this year.
So that was the top one. Let's see the latest. Let's see here.
Yeah, I mean, he popped up as right here, trends for me, and it's Lane Kiffin. Doesn't mean he's trending like overall. It just means that people are talking about him a lot. That's over days, I guess, type of a deal. So
yeah, people are just putting him in there for recruits and saying that Kiffin is better than Saban.
Gotta love fans, right? It did amazing football. Name another place in college football where a coach that basically has failed everywhere he's been and is in a small school and gets more press than like big name schools.
You know what? He actually did not fail in Tennessee. He did
Well,
all right.
yeah, but it was only 1 year.
It was one
though.
and done, and it sucked.
Yeah.
It left a bitter taste in my mouth. But you know what? Good on Kiffin. You know, he went to his hometown job, which I can respect.
You can't blame that.
I wasn't going to go disgrace the Vol Rock with F.U. Lane Kiffin. But some people did, because that's what they felt they had to do.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
But no, he did good in Tennessee. I'd welcome him back with open arms.
He can't go back there now, man.
No.
All the things that were said and everything.
A few years ago, I was totally on board with it. Before he took that Florida job, I was like, come on, man. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, they haven't. Yeah. Well, Tennessee wasn't bad last year. They should be decent this year again, right?
We'll see. I'm not holding out hope. I just come to the thing where I'm going to set my expectations low on every sport known to man, and if they overexceed, then hey, you know what? I'm happy.
You're employing my methodology. Have zero expectations, and then it just
and then you won't be sad.
No,
you know when somebody named Rowdy Briggs tries to talk shit to you on Facebook.
That was funny
because he watches one goddamn D-backs game.
What was the score?
In July? I don't even know. It was like 17,
it was a blowout.
It was like 17-3, I think, something like that. When I looked, because I was like, I don't even know what the hell the score is, dude. I was driving.
He posted that in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
too,
that was like second inning. I think.
Yeah.
Like
so
it was
already
pretty bad.
A blowout. Yeah.
Like one of my buddies from work texted me. Because the first night when they lost, he knew I was at the game. He's like, I hate to see it. And then the next night he texted me again, and I was like, what? Hate to see what? You know, I was like, is he like trying to like reiterate the joke that he said last night? And so then like I see that post. I was like, they're supposed to be good. Like, really, dude? You watch one game and you know that I'm a fan of the other team. So it's one of those, I'm going to talk crap. Like you never even like talk about watching baseball in your life. You know, you probably couldn't even tell me what 6-4-3 means. And here you are going to do this. F you. F you, bro. Hate it.
Maybe he loves you, man.
Maybe.
I'll post something on a side note. I'll post something and like forget to like make a comment about you, like where we're working that weekend or whatever. And I'll forget. And like, he'll be the first one. Like, where's Carter at? Love it. Loves you. Loves you.
It.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was a big baseball fan.
I don't think he is.
Let's talk like he's here. Let's talk like he's here. Rowdy, we love you, buddy. Here's the weird thing. Phoenix Mercury, not that we're big Phoenix Mercury WNBA fans here, but they're going to play at Veterans Memorial Coliseum here in Phoenix during the 2020 season.
Where is Veterans Memorial Coliseum?
That's where the Suns played before they opened up in '92 when Charles came.
I wasn't here. 19th so where Avenue is Veterans Memorial Coliseum?
19th Avenue McDowell. I got the fairgrounds.
Oh, because of the renovations. Yeah, they're doing the renovations.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Well, maybe they don't have room because the Rattlers had to move because of scheduling conflicts there, and then they lost the indoor, whatever it is, IFL, the league that they're in.
Yeah,
they moved to Glendale for the game and then lost.
Sad.
Oops. Don't move. That's my point. Yeah. So my point is like, I mean, that's where they do concert. Only thing done there now is concerts during the fair, and I'm pretty sure that building's going to fall down at some point. But anyway, for those of us that are from Phoenix, that was like a big deal back in the day. Like the Roadrunners,
fairgrounds.
Yeah, but the IHL Roadrunners played there. The Suns were there until they moved downtown '92. Like, yeah, I mean this is a sacred building in the Phoenix annals of sports, you know. And now the Mercury, you got to go play there.
I'm gonna check it out. I like old buildings and stuff.
Liar.
I might go check it out.
I'm gonna go check out Billy Currington there when he plays there in the state fair, probably.
For the state fair.
Yeah, he must be doing something right because I'm gonna. Ooh, anybody get that? Anybody get that joke?
Thank God for good directions.
Yeah, in color greens.
Yep.
All right.
I know there was another song in there I couldn't think about, but something about what was the one where he got the money from the guy?
Oh,
good people
are good.
People God is great.
People are crazy.
People are good. Yeah, God is great. Beer is good. People are crazy.
Yeah, there you go. People are crazy. So.
I couldn't throw that reference in. I tried to. Real quick, have you retweeted Bubba Wallace's tweet yet?
The one with the
Richard Petty tattoo?
Here's the problem with that is people are retweeting that and then commenting, please retweet like Dale Jr. and I saw Clint Boyer, and they're retweeting theirs instead of his.
Well, I think people have gotten smart to that.
Okay, because last
30,000
retweets
were up.
Last night like 11
on the
PM.
actual Bubba Wallace tweet. So if you see it, make sure you retweet the Bubba Wallace tweet, not the other guy's tweet.
Because last night at like 11 p.m., he only had like 2,900, and Dale Jr. had like 6,000.
Yeah.
And Clint Boyer, because Clint Boyer was like, I'd probably do it for free.
Yeah, right. So that's Richard Petty's tattoo.
So what did Richard Petty do? Just walk up to the window of his? He was like sitting in his car, and Richard Petty's
it looked like
hey, son, sign that.
He was probably doing some pit practice. It looked like to me. So I think that's what it was. Doing some pit practice, and Petty was just walking out the shop and said, "Hey, I'm signing your arm." So there you go. So
that's hilarious.
Said he'll get it tattooed on him.
You better hurry up before he doesn't run for him anymore.
Yeah, he's got 24 hours to get it. I think he's going to stay with Petty. There's no way they're going to red Bubba.
Really?
I mean, look, the money's not coming in regardless. Either way you go. I mean, who else is going to drive that car and make it a winning organization?
A younger guy that has
a younger guy who
potential
plays iRacing.
Potential is
the car is what the car is.
I know, but potential
I don't think they're getting any more out of it.
Potential is an amazing thing, Jason.
Yeah, well,
Bubba Wallace is what Bubba Wallace is.
We can sit there on hopes and dreams all we want, but
we've been saying that. We had that discussion on Twitter with PE8TM podcasting guys the other night with about a boy Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
Now he deserves a ride, and they're like, no, in lap traffic.
Yeah, I don't get the Christopher Bell is not the good driver thing, right? Like, what is that?
Like you, me, and our good buddy Josh Horton are all like defending Bell like left and right.
Like, I know. Like I never thought I'd have to defend a guy with 5 wins this year in the Xfinity Series. Like,
I know, right? But I mean, they're in the more than I am on NASCAR. But I mean, last year he was pretty dang close to getting that
7 wins.
Joe Gibbs ride last year.
Almost won the championship in the Xfinity Series. Didn't do it. But but
he missed it. He lost it last race.
Yeah, it was last race. I mean, he was in the final 4. Which anything can happen there.
Yeah.
And then he's well on his way to doing it again this year. Probably upping his win total. So I've heard from peeps. It's either some sources that if he's not in the 20 next year, he could possibly be getting that 95 ride. So with more Joe Gibbs backing than what it has now, that Matt DiBenedetto is in. So we'll see.
That's the thing. So the ride that he didn't get, was it last year? Was Eric, right?
I think there was talk about the Denny Hamlin ride more last year than anything.
Oh no, you're right. It was Denny Hamlin because on that.
But that was just down. I think fans like Denny Hamlin sucks. So he needs to get out.
Yeah, but we were not getting info from fans. We were getting info. We were reading the fan stuff, but we were also.
It was pretty much like one more year this guy has and he's done.
I kept giving Josh our time, because I didn't want to blast what he does,
Yeah.
So I kept giving him a hard time, like, is like pit guys are such gossipers, like hinting at what he does, but not saying what he does.
Right.
But yeah, all the insiders seem to be like Christopher Bell doesn't deserve the ride or whatever.
Yeah, I don't get it. A guy who has more wins than the guys who are in the ride, but that's just me.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll see him November.
You find the guy you like, and then
you got that dirt 410 race coming through that I'm sure we'll see him at unless something happens. He signs a deal and they say no.
Probably. We'll see.
I'm gonna announce it now, even though it's not real.
Well, I announced it all going up to last year, but gosh,
and then we went and talked to him, and he's like, "No, I'm not going." And you're like, "What?"
Oh. Sorry. Well, I was told you were. Belle Delphine. You said the kids went back to school today. Have you heard Belle Delphine's name before?
No.
Well, Belle Delphine, your kids probably know her. She's a YouTuber, does some gaming and stuff like that. Got kicked off of Instagram. Got a ban this past week for taking advantage of just really big dumbasses out there, and sold her bathwater.
Oh, are you kidding me? she's a good looking girl, right? I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, no, she's like I don't know.
She's older, but she's older,
but she looks younger. Yeah, she has like braces.
Yeah,
pink hair. She's like a gamer.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does gaming stuff.
Yeah, so on YouTube.
My kids do not deal with her, but I have seen friends of mine on Facebook like share or comment on her live tweeting or whatever, and so I see it on mine. Yeah.
So she got banned on Instagram. I posted a video, said, "Hey, I'm going to sell my bathwater. Put it in mason jars." I don't know. I mean, obviously, you don't know if it's her bathwater or not, but she sold out. So there are people out there. There's a market out there for bathwater off a pretty girl. I guess I don't know.
Multiple questions for that. Do you get a certificate of authenticity?
I would want one if
you'd want a picture of her getting out of that bath.
I guess you did video of her in the bath and filling up one of the jars, from what I understand. She also I think a few months ago, she did a video where she said if this got over 1 million likes, then I'd start a Pornhub account, which it did get over 1 million likes, and she started a Pornhub account, and it's like Bill Define gets blank pie, and it was just her making a pie. Like she was trolling like the people, she just literally baked a pie.
Stupid.
So
I watched a YouTube video yesterday, Jason. I shit you not. This guy YouTube videos are nothing but like. Okay, let me caveat this first. I spend a lot of time on YouTube on Mondays and Tuesdays usually because I have cut videos and I upload them for racetracks and stuff like that, stuff we video. So I'm on YouTube. I'm not looking for this stuff, but this video pops up with this guy. It's like Arcade Dan, or I'm sorry, dude, I don't know your name. I don't care.
Poor Arcade.
And he was putting 1,000 quarters into one of those quarter push machines, where you put quarters in and then they push them out and you get more quarters back and everything. And I sat there for 25 minutes and watched him do this because I wanted to know how much he got out of it.
How much did you go?
He lost. It's $250 is what he put in, 1,000 quarters, and he came out with like $222.22. But he was just rapid firing them, Like there's a strategy to that where it's built up on one side, you put them on that side. He was just rapid firing them in there and just having them come in. So he lost money, but it was just amazing to me how fascinated I got, yesterday at like 1:00 in the afternoon, watching this guy throw quarters into a arcade game machine and talking while he was doing it, literally saying nothing. And he lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I can understand why people bought bathwater.
Yeah, people are dumb. I don't think obviously she wasn't made for that. She was actually reported, some guy named Noah posted a screenshot on Reddit that he reported the Instagram page for a nudity violation.
That's what I was going to say. If she got out of the tub and she was nude, that's...
Well, I don't know if she would... I don't know. But I think she would know better than doing that. From what I saw,
you were trying to find it?
I didn't try to find it. I actually heard about it on the radio driving in. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. How she took advantage of poor video gamers.
So a couple things came across, because today is media day for all the football people, by the way. The Pac-12 has announced that there's no major fix needed for Pac-12 officials. And I'm sure every conference says their officials are the worst, but that's a big topic out here for Pac-12. Like, they are horrible. Terrible. So Pac-12's obviously awful with them. Kevin Love has become the 9th person to opt out of Team USA. Remember all that, like, several years? Stars are going.
You play for the jersey on the name on the front, not the back.
That lasted to 2 Olympics and 2 World Cups.
9 people on Team USA. Team USA, we're going to get lit by Spain. It's going to be terrible.
Like, even Zion, who was just invited to play with, like, college kids to get the pros ready, was like, I'm not doing that. Yeah, speaking of which.
Luka, what team's Luka going to be on? He's going to do good.
Isn't he, you should know, Lithuanian or something?
I don't know. Something like that. I don't know what he is.
The Mavericks got ranked pretty high for this year, actually. I was surprised by that.
Straight, baby.
That was a couple weeks ago when we were on vacation.
It is a 2-superstar league, and they got 2 superstars. Let's go.
But Porzingis isn't even going to play for a while, right?
No, he's full up this year.
Oh, is he? He's ready to go?
He's going to be ready to go, baby.
Oh, all right.
KP and Luka. Bring it on.
Steve Kerr, when he's not railing against the president with his left-wing political views,
he says
that the forced trade by Davis is, quote, bad for the league.
Not wrong.
So did you see, it was a big deal yesterday. So the owners' meeting was happening in Vegas, and it leaked, which means one of the owners leaked it, that the owners want to change all of the deals because, and even some of the agents do, because if deals are agreed to when they're not supposed to be done, it hurts the salary cap for other players. And if the agents don't know about it, they're working deals and trying to get deals with teams that they don't know they can't get because it's already been done or whatever. But then also the big uproar is that personal family members of players, for instance, Kawhi Leonard's, his uncle or whoever, that's his advisor, quote unquote, was asking for personal stuff. And then remember that rumor that LeVar Ball was getting paid by the Lakers to basically shut up and stop talking about him.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So now that's the angle is not only are players and agents running the league at this point, but then family members of players are asking for benefits and everything from teams, to get their players there and whatnot. It just happened. It was like this big deal where
is that like a college ploy?
Yeah, you hire his high school coach,
college,
or
you're like, hey, we'll bring on, whatever.
You hire his brother,
we'll hook your family up with whatever, season tickets.
Well, college, you hire the person, right? So like,
what was it? Maybe Blindside, where like the one guy had like a little white kid.
Yeah,
it's based off a true story. It's like, hey, we'll get you down the field, So I don't know.
Yeah. So like,
I assume that was real. I don't know.
Well, I mean, no, you hire the kid's high school coach.
I haven't had a college coach come up to me like, hey, we're get you on the field.
Well, you're not good enough.
Sometimes I sit there sad and hope, maybe I can.
Yeah. So. But that's the thing. So NBA is now relevant in that league where like family members are like, hey, cut me $100K and I'll get them to go to you. Go NBA. They're going to so ruin their league until they fix this.
Slovenian is what Luka Doncic is.
Slovenia. I knew that. Yeah, I said Lithuania. Aren't they close next to each other?
Probably.
We just started a war by saying they're the same.
They're all the same. It probably came up in that Ferris Bueller report.
Right back to that again. Right back to that again. So, lots going on. We're back for a regular schedule.
Regular schedule programming. NFL's coming back. We'll break down some numbers going into next week for those of you who are looking to get a little wet on the Hall of Fame game. We'll give you your overs, your unders.
A little wet. Oh, my goodness.
What, man? Hey, let's do it.
For you degenerates that are gambling the Hall of Fame game, oh, my God. What's the over-under on the offshores for the coin flip? Who wins that?
I don't know. I'll let you know next week. That's a tease right there, buddy. That is a tease.
Now I'm intrigued.
We'll get you all set up, baby. We're going sports betting heavy coming up. Changing formats. Let's roll. But no. So before we get into that, we do have to talk game a little bit here. Big Brother, did you watch this past Sunday?
I have not seen the last 3 weeks. So do not.
All right, catch up. We're talking
Big
Brother next week.
Of course, we'll bring that in next week. I knew I was going to watch it yesterday knowing this was going to happen. And it just slipped my mind yesterday. I was dealing with school stuff and had to go see The Lion King for the second time.
Does Mufasa make it out alive?
No, it does not change.
Oh, well.
Okay, my review real quick is, I had to see it twice. Because the kids said they didn't want to see it. Because Ireland doesn't like when Mufasa dies. Ethan was just being a butt and didn't want to see it. So I was like, all right, fine, I'm going to go see it. Whatever. Because I'm actually more intrigued by the visualization side of it. Like, it's amazing. The visual side of it's just amazing. Like, you could see, like, he's walking through the desert and you could see his paw prints, like, as he walks. Cool. And then, like, when Monday or something, the kids are like, can we go see Lion King? So I'm like, crap. I have to go another 2-hour investment into this movie or whatever. So anyway, just like the original, it's a half an hour longer. And it's a half an hour longer because I feel like Disney was like, hey, look what we can do. So there are literally scenes where like they go to the opening scene is a shot for shot remake of the cartoon. Like it's you except for animals talking, it looks like real animals. Like, if they didn't speak human words, you would think you're watching a National Geographic.
See, when I saw the trailers, I just thought it was going to be like the animals actually just grunting. I didn't know it was going to be. I know actually it was like Lion King live or whatever, live action Lion King. It's like, oh, they're just going to be like.
The most shocking thing to me is that, like, I feel like Pumbaa, the warthog.
Yeah.
I feel like Seth Rogen was made to play that part. Like, he was so perfect playing that warthog. And then I'm not a big fan of him, but God, who's the guy that played Timon? Billy Eichner. I am not a fan of him at all. He just yells all the time at everybody. And Pumbaa was great with him also on there. Not a fan of Beyonce's song. And blasphemy right there. I know, blasphemy, because everything Beyonce touches is golden.
Well, probably explains why you're still a single lady.
Hey, don't love it, don't put a ring on it. Nobody's loved me enough to put a ring on it. Whatever.
She didn't say love. She said if you like it.
If you like it.
If you like it, put a ring on it. We're not even talking about love. We're talking about likes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I recommend it. If you like the cartoon, absolutely you're gonna like this one, if not more. It's the same story. Some of the jokes have changed.
Yeah,
some of the jokes have changed, but some of the because some of the jokes you can't do because you can't get animals to, whatever, live action animals to do whatever. No, I highly recommend it. That's my thing. 2 thumbs up. 2
paws.
2 paws up.
2 roars.
2 roars up. Yeah.
You gotta come with your own thing there, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's got to change per movie.
Yeah.
Change per movie.
Change per movie.
So I had to see it twice, and I enjoyed it both times. I ain't gonna lie. A little bit there, I get a little bored, but that's just because when it's the same movie, everybody.
You'd give it a bat flip. There you go. How about that?
Baseball term, I guess. Yeah. I guess.
All right, we've got 4,000 more tweets on Bubba Wallace, so it looks like this could happen. Guy's getting a Richard Petty tattoo. Let's do it. Go retweet it.
On his forum. I did it last night.
All right.
Oh, I didn't do it from the main event
account. We got multiple platforms we can do it.
We're supporting you. Let's do this.
Let's go. STP, baby.
But yeah, no. So yeah, next week we'll do our Big Brother recap for the
all right.
show.
So next week we got Big Brother recap. T's going in. We got Big Brother recap next week. We're going to talk some over-unders on this Hall of Fame game. I don't know why you're laughing. Well, we got guys out there that are betting this game. All right. We gotta let them know what's going on. All right. Football, baby. It's back. Get crunk. Get excited.
Are we gonna start a gambling page?
We might, yeah. We might just throw a little gambling page up on the old website.
Darren Ravel can yell at us on Twitter and call us names.
F your cease and desist. This is just going to be us, biatch.
What happened to that guy, man? He used to be cool to read and stuff, and he's turned into just a giant a-hole.
That's because he left ESPN and he started his own company. He's all,
no, he's not even started his own company.
He's hired him. With them, but he's like, oh, no. Everybody that bets, because everybody in the sports world just bets now. Nobody talks about, you're not going to go break down X's and O's on Twitter anymore. There still are those guys, but majority of it is, hey, did they cover? This guy coming up here, did he cover? Did he not? Whatever. So that's
I'm not smart enough to figure out sports betting, so we'll go with you on that one.
All right.
I'm just gonna go with I also don't pay attention anymore either.
We'll also give you over-unders for
we've had this Big discussion Brother. Even when I'm sitting at a stadium, I'm got these freaking cell phones, man. They're so distracting.
Hey, that's why the White Sox added more nets. But I tell you right now, if you do not, here's a good thing right here for no nets and no cell phones at the game, kids. Pay attention. The other night in Seattle, a foul ball was hit by Hunter Pence of the Texas Rangers, went into row number 1. A Rangers fan with his glove, not a cell phone, had his glove on in row 1, caught the ball, which was totally his ball to catch. He didn't get out of his way to save his cell phone. He caught the ball away from Kyle Seager. It was in the stands. Perfect catch. The Mariners didn't like it, though. They gave him a red card, actually. You get red cards there that say that you're
yes.
favor. I don't know what I retweeted it at Jason Carter 03.
Well, it's
but it was like, you're getting too hostile here. Yes. You better chill out. But all he did was catch the ball. He actually posted it up on his Twitter page. Hey, so this is what the Mariners gave me. It was a conduct reminder. So Jake Coleman is the kid that caught it from Kyle Seager. It says, conduct reminder, the T-Mobile Code of Conduct asked all our guests to respect others around them by allowing everyone to enjoy the T-Mobile Park experience, free from unacceptable behavior. If you receive this card, we will leave your behavior has crossed the line. Please take this as a friendly reminder and review the T-Mobile Park Code of Conduct on the other side of this card. Enjoy the game, but allow others to do so as well. Continued unacceptable behavior will require us to remove you from the ballpark without refund, something we don't want to do. First off, BS car there by the Mariners. That ball was totally in foul ground, foul territory in the stands. Jake lifted his glove up, caught the ball. Kyle Seager was like, what, really? Kyle knew. Kyle knew it, but here's the thing though. In 2019, you have to deal with that. You know why? Because kids are on their cell phones. Kids are more leaning back. I've been waiting for this moment to happen, and thank God it happened finally. And this kid showed what can be done in America. So caught the ball. His dad got a picture of Kyle Seager, like, oh, what the heck? And then he also got a bat from Hunter Pence and said, hey, great teamwork out there. And then he got a picture with Hunter Pence yesterday.
So, yeah, I don't understand this whole net thing. So did you see the first game the other night at White Sox? What is it now? Is it still U.S. Cellular?
I don't even know. They don't give us money.
Yeah, right.
America.
whatever. The White Sox Stadium, did you see with the nets going all out to the outfield? So a routine, foul ball popped up high in the air, goes over there. And they can't toss a ball into the crowd after it bounces off the net, which a fan would have casually have caught it. It bounces off the net and comes down. The baseball player picks it up, whoever it was in right field. I don't give a crap. And he picks it up and he jokingly tries to toss it to him, it bounces off the net, and then they laugh, they have a good exchange and he runs off or whatever. It's a freaking joke. He wanted to give a dang ball to a kid, in the stands or whatever.
And row one.
And yeah, and he has to joke around about it and run back in. First of all, it looks ridiculous. But man, the media is overhyping this net thing. I watched this thing outside the line with Jeremy Schaap yesterday. It was on the TV while I was doing some stuff. And I mean, he sounded like people were dying left and right because of foul balls. I mean, it's happening everywhere.
No, you know what you do? You don't get your cell phone, you bring a glove to the game. That's what you do.
Like 5 people. How many people have been hit this year? It's a minuscule amount. But then they go, well, if we can save one person. First of all, I have young kids, right? And I'm not telling parents how to parent. But me and my kids have sat, third base side after the dugout, 3 rows up when they were little. And I was like a hawk, man. If a ball even came near them,
right,
I would have been like...
You're standing up, doing this maneuver.
I would have been me dodging in front of a bullet, type of a thing. So these people that are just standing there and, don't sit down there. Like, you get the tickets. The D-backs actually have a program where if you don't feel safe sitting where you're sitting, they will move your seats for you. You walk up and tell them that, and they will put you in a safer spot, right? And then, and all of that stuff. So they have these programs and everything, and it's just... I already struggle watching baseball to begin with, and when I saw the Chicago White Sox game the other night, I wanted to just vomit.
You just be more fixated on the net, right? Like your first time to go, right? I don't know.
To be honest with you, I didn't even notice a net because I was watching it on television.
Right.
But, okay, if you have to sit in front of a net, why not have a net in the outfield? Aren't home run balls more dangerous? Those things are hit like rockets, man. Yeah. Matt Williams' home run ball in the freaking World Series landed like 2 seats over from us. That thing was a freaking rocket.
That exit velo, it's crazy.
The reason why I don't own that ball today is because I was not sticking my bare hand out to catch that thing because it was a rocket to freaking middle of right field, man.
Shit's weak.
And it was too far too. But I also had the thought of I'm not breaking my hand for this ball out there. So why don't we do it there too? I mean, it's just ridiculous how it goes. But second of all, the reason why I noticed the net from home was because, like I said, a routine foul ball going to the far corner of right field bounces off the net onto the field harmlessly, and the guy can't throw it back. And I was like, so there's no...
I feel like there he was probably having fun with it, right? Like,
well, yeah, because it's boom. Yeah, because it's a joke. No, he's making fun of it.
Whenever he was riding in Baltimore, they had to do that game between the Orioles and White Sox where nobody was there, and the guy throws the ball up to the crowd.
Yeah. No, that's my point though. He's making fun of it. He wants to, but he would have tossed that ball into the crowd. And
and now, I mean, if you're going to throw a ball up to the crowd, I mean, you really want to sit 15, 20 rows back, right?
Yeah.
You ain't going to get that row one.
But if you, I just don't get it. I don't sit at an NFL game. If you sit in the front row of an NBA game and you get run over by Shaq, pretty much anybody. But I've seen Shaq run over people, like little short ladies in the front row or whatever, and everybody laughs. Meanwhile, they're going to the hospital the next day because their shoulders are broken because a 6'8" guy just ran them over, that type of thing. It just drives me batty. It's just, I get it. My bigger point on this is that baseball is already hard enough to watch. Why are you making it harder?
They're not making it harder to watch.
Oh, absolutely. I will stop watching if I have to watch, you didn't see that.
You have to watch through a net. But talk about going to a game. But
even on TV, you watch a ball get ripped down the third base line. Literally, it was like a batting cage, Jason. It bounced off the fence 4 times and came to a saw. Are you freaking kidding me? This is ridiculous.
I mean, that's a pace of play issue, I would feel like.
Yeah, because he has to jog over and get the ball.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a joke, man. It was just this ball bouncing out. It was just weird. It was uncalled for. If you, I walk out my front door I don't expect to get hit with the baseball. So if I get hit with the baseball, then I'm going to be a little pissed off. I go to a baseball game, it's going to freaking hurt, whatever, Like hockey, when hockey put the net up behind at first, I was young then, and I was like, this is stupid, whatever. But now that I'm older, I'm like, thank God they put, because you can't see that puck coming off the deal, and it killed a person. So that's what they did. I totally get that. Which is why, by the way, we have nets behind home plate, because a ball comes scorching back there, you're not going to see it coming, even if you're paying attention. And all of that stuff. But it just drives me batty watching this stuff. It just drives me batty. It's ugly. It's stupid. It's dumb. The media is all... It's like the concussion thing with the NFL where the media is driving it all. Because the media is all, oh, we got to protect the fans, and this is uncalled for. It's,
Make football violent again.
The football players were even like, most football players are like, yeah, we signed up for this. And the media is like, no, you have a concussion. We need to protect you from yourself.
MFVA, baby. Fantasy football starting up again, too. Yeah, we'll talk some that next week as well.
I know. I got to sign into that league.
Get excited. So we'll talk about that. We'll leave the Nets to the Nets. Although it was funny that they were playing the Marlins for game one. Catch a Marlin with the net.
It was the two teams that had...
It was White Sox and Marlins.
Yeah, it was the two teams that extended the fences out.
That was kind of funny that the Marlins, because they're Marlins, and catch a fish.
No, Jason, don't misunderstand me not laughing as to I didn't get it.
There's humor there, Steve.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We'll add the laugh track later.
Thanks for listening. God bless you. What?
Social media, real quick.
Oh, yep. Social media. Hit us up on the old Twitter box at the Main Event Pod. Also on Facebook at just by searching the Main Event Podcast. I think you can also put at the Main Event Podcast in there as well. If you search it, the option to add the at, but nobody does that. But it's still there. I mean, I don't know if you want to. Just put in the Main Event Podcast on your search bar.
We'll have a tutorial put up later.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like some people don't know. I mean, I feel like you have to tell people they don't know, like the old retweet thing. And then you can hit me up at Jason Carter 03 on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Hit up Steve at
SMAC 500 on all the same platforms.
So yeah, there you go.
And we will be back next week
with Big Brother.
Yeah.
NFL Hall of Fame, over-unders, and other betting, and how to look up stuff on Facebook. All coming up next week on the Main Event Podcast. So God bless you, God bless the troops, and God bless America.